How to hand sew a button. Aloha, I'm Frances Dinnan. I'm a mother of two, and I've been blessed with 5 grandchildren. I've been altering, mending, and sewing my family's clothes for 45 years. I'm not a professional seamstress or a blogger, so no subscription to this YouTube channel is needed. I am, however, a volunteer with the Hawaii Association for Family and Community Education. HAFCE is a nonprofit volunteer organization that has operated in Hawaii since 1949, or 75 years. Hawaii is one of 15 state associations in a National Association for Family and Community Education. Hawaii also has membership in the Associated Country Women of the World. Together, with a membership of over 2,000 volunteers, we support worldwide education and community service projects. This button sewing video is a Hawaii-based project. Our mission here in Hawaii is living the aloha spirit to strengthen individuals, families, and communities through continuing education, leadership, and community action. Some of the basic sewing supplies that you will need to begin this project are a general use sharp sewing needle, a medium weight all-purpose thread, a button, the article of clothing or fabric the button is to be affixed to, and a sharp pair of scissors. In this video, I will demonstrate how to affix a button in 5 steps. Step 1. Matching the colors. Sewing thread come in various colors and weights. Select a general all-purpose medium weight thread that matches the color of your button and fabric. Black thread for black sweater and white thread for white shirt. When in doubt, go to the lighter colors that are available to you. Moving on to step 2, threading a needle. A sewing needle has an eye on one end and a point on the other. Locate the eye and draw a single strand of thread through the needle's eye. Pull the thread through the eye until both ends equal to at least 12 inches. Cut the thread with your scissors and tie a knot at the end. Here I wet my left index finger and wrap both loose ends around that finger once. Then by rolling the thread away and off my finger, I tied my knot. Here's a short video demonstrating how to use a needle threader. Hold the needle in your left hand and the threader in your right. Push the threader's metal wire all the way through the eye. Draw a single thread through the threader's wire opening. Pull the thread slowly through the needle's eye. Grab the thread and pull until both ends are equal. Measure the desired length. Cut the thread with your scissors and tie off the end. 2 steps down and 3 to go. Button placement. Search for the old hole in the garment where the button came off. In this example, there are loose threads that will need to be cleared away before I can begin sewing. I used a seam ripper, which is very sharp, but scissors will do just as well. Be very careful not to cut into your fabric. If there's no hole, what you want to do is button the shirt or coat and lay it flat on the table to see where the missing button should be placed. Three steps down and 2 to go. Stitching the button to the fabric. Buttons have 2 sides. If your button has a ridge, that's the side that goes up. Compare the button's face to other buttons on your clothing and look closely at how the other buttons were sewn. I'll be sewing the shinier side up and affixing this button in a crisscross pattern to match the other buttons on this white shirt. Hold the button in place with your left hand. and bring the threaded needle up through one of the holes and then down through the adjacent hole. Draw your thread all the way up through the material and the button to avoid tangles. Okay, so we're on the final step, completing your work. When you have sewn at least 3 to 4 cross stitches, turn the fabric over to the wrong side and tie a knot. Here I grabbed a few threads that were already sewn, and while doing so, a loop was formed. I went through that loop to make a square knot and pulled my thread to tie off. I did this twice to secure the button in place. Using my scissors, I clipped the thread close to the knot. I was taught 2 different ways to tie a knot at the end of my stitches. The first way was to make 2 loops to make a square knot, and that was the knot that I used to tie off the string for the button that I had just sewn. So here's a close-up of a square knot that was made with the 2 loops. Now the second way to tie a knot to end your stitches is by wrapping the thread around the needle 3 times. So you go back to the last stitch that you made, wrap the needle 3 times, and then pull the needle, and there you have a knot. I'm going to do that twice just in case you weren't watching. Grab the last stitch 3 times and then pull. The true test after all your efforts is to see that the sewn button matches up to the buttonhole and that it can be buttoned. And that, of course, that button matches up to the other buttons on the garment. Ta-da! Why so? Well, learning to mend your clothes will help you save money, prolong the lifespan of a favorite garment, and is good for the environment. The key to learning any skill is practice.